was born in a working class neighborhood in San Francisco. My father was from Mexico, my mom from El Salvador. They were people who believed in a lot of hard work. My grandmother was my biggest influence. I always like to talk about her because she always used to smoke a cigar and had a little machete on the side, and she would always have colorful expressions like, well, if you got enough energy to complain, you got enough energy to do. And one of her other favorite expressions was, you should kiss the ground every day you're in America. One of the things my parents thought was really important was that I learned English. They always said that they wouldn't care if I got an F in everything else as long as I got an A in English. And they thought it was really important that, and I felt it that way too, that it was more important about what brought us together versus what tore us apart. I went to Cal Berkeley, and some people say, well, really, you went through all of that? And I said, well, it was there you start to really appreciate things. I went on to manage 2 different nonprofits, working with children, after-school programs, battered women, shelters, homeless people, in one other word. At that time, I started realizing how important service was. You know, it's not so much about 2 parties or anything like that. It's really about service. It's either there to serve others or serve yourself. So I came here to Colorado about 5 years ago. I met my wife. She's Japanese, and she eventually became a U.S. citizen, and so we felt, she would tell you often that I romanticized Colorado a lot. And I felt that there was a very special place for freedom and liberty here, and got involved. I was part of the board of Colorado Hispanic Republicans, did outreach for them. I was speaking all over the state, and then I wanted to start my own consulting business, and people then reached out to me and they said, Tony, we've been hearing a lot about you. Would you consider a run? And I said, yes, sure. One of the reasons I decided to run too is because I thought that people were getting very angry and very discouraged. They felt that they didn't matter anymore. And I said, you know, their spirits were being crushed. And I said, we got to do something about that. And I still feel that way right now. There was a story I was told by my dad. He said, you know, there'll be a time when people will forget what liberty is, what freedom is. And I couldn't believe it when he said that. I go, really, in America? This is in the early 90s. That'll never happen. But he said, no. But when it gets worse, people are going to remember why they are here, especially people from other countries and different communities. They're going to wake up. And I'm starting to think that there is that starting to happen. Young people are starting to get involved. Young people are starting to ask those kind of questions. They're starting to understand why the Constitution is so fundamental to our freedoms. They're starting to say, they're starting to be bolder. They're starting to question. And I think we need to encourage that. I feel that each of us is very valuable. Each of us has a valuable voice.